Hey, do you like water? Well, too bad, because that's not what we're gonna do today. That actually had some water in it. But what we're gonna do today is a juice website design. So a fresh, organic juice website. And take a look, we have also animations, and we're gonna prototype and do everything from scratch. This one we're gonna do in Adobe XD, just because we have the ability to do a lot of cool animations. And also, don't worry, I looked for the images myself. I spent more than 4 hours, so you don't have to. And those will be in the description down below. I should do more magic. I haven't done magic in a while. This one is called, I wonder what that is. I wonder what that is. I wonder what that is. What is that? It's the queen. Okay, everybody, let's have some fun. So the first thing I want to do is I'm actually going to do a custom size on this one. I don't want to make it 1080 by 1920 by 1080. That's going to be a bit too large, but you can definitely do this if you want. I'm going to do a custom size for this one. So I'm going to do 1440 by 1024. All right, and I'm going to click on custom size, and that should create me a new design in here. And as you can see, it's named custom. And the first thing I'm going to do is just rename this really quickly. And it's going to be called landing page. I always do this to every item I bring in, just so to keep everything organized, basically, because it can get really messy. Okay, so this is what we have. Now, again, I'm going to provide the images. So these ones, or I might just put the full project on there so you can mess around with it. So what I want to do is I want to have a super simple presentation here that's going to say juice. It's going to be very obvious what it is going to be about, and you can choose your drink straight out in the landing page. Okay. So what I envisioned is I want to have something very natural. So natural usually is green, because that's kind of like earth, like trees. And I don't know who came up with this, but it makes sense, trust me. So green colors are like very earthy colors, because again, leaves and plants and whatever. Okay, so that's what I've been thinking about and what I'm gonna use on this website. So we're gonna use a green color, and all I want to do is I want to drag out a square in here straight in the middle. So I'm going to go here to the rectangle tool and just drag out a square. Now we're going to resize this and make everything look pretty in just a bit, but just to get a general idea, I'm kind of going to throw everything in here together. So I'm going to get rid of the border here, and for the fill, I'm just going to choose a custom color here. Now, again, something greenish. I picked out a color. If you want to follow along, you can do 8CBB7F. And there we go. That's the one we're going to use. And the reason why I'm doing this is I kind of want to have all my content in here. So I kind of want to focus in this middle part of the website. Everything on the outside is going to be less important. So maybe you can have a footer down here, maybe the logo and some nav links, or just a hamburger or something like that. So again, the reason why I'm doing this is to add the theme to the website, so the color, and also to focus down the content in this square. And I flexed there a bit for extra points. Okay, so this is what we have. I'm going to bring this kind of in the center for now. And I want to have a big, bold message here that's going to say juice, because why not? So let's go to the text tool here. I'm going to click once, and I'm going to say juice, and I'm going to add the dot at the end just because I'm cool. And we're going to grab everything here. I'm going to resize this to 250 like that. Yeah, we're going big. This is going to be a bit more of an interesting kind of design. Okay, so this is what we have. And as you can see, the contrast is not that great. So we're going to make this a white color. Perfect. And for the font, I'm using Poppins, but yeah, again, you can use anything you want. That's totally fine. And I'm gonna just put, let's go medium on this one. Make it thick, okay? A bit thicker. Perfect. Just kind of bringing it in the center. And the first thing I want to do is I'm gonna use this leaf here, and actually not that one. This leaves. All right, this big one. I'm gonna just go back to my design here and just drop it. Now careful, don't drop it in this rectangle because it's going to take shape of this one. So just drag it somewhere outside like that, and then drag it back in. Now I kind of sized this perfectly, so you don't have to worry too much about it. So I'm just gonna stick it right here in the end, like that. Okay, you can just kind of follow the shape of this and just stick it right there in the right corner and on top. And there we go. And I kind of like the way this kind of interacts with the text as well. It hides there a bit, but not too much, so you cannot see what it says. Something like that. I like that. Okay, so that's what we have. We have the leaves going, and down here, I straight up want to say what we want to do. So I'm gonna say, hey, pick your juice. So we're gonna click once, and I'm gonna say, choose your fuel. And you cannot see that because it's outside, so I'm just gonna grab everything. I'm gonna size this a bit smaller, something like 36. Let's do 36. Choose your fuel. I didn't say choose your drink because that sounds lame. I'm so cool today. Choose your fuel, that's what we have. Okay, kind of bringing it in the center there. That's fine. And next what I want to have is 3 buttons. Now, I could go color here and have a red button for like, not red, an orange button for the orange juice, a green for the kiwi, and have, what else do I have? I think I have a red one for strawberry. But the problem with that is that you're gonna have too many colors on the website and things are gonna look kind of weird and outside. So I'll just drag 3 circles here to illustrate this. So we can have like kind of, you can imagine these as 3 buttons. And if I color these, like I'm gonna have a red one and I'll have a greenish one, right, for the kiwi. And this one's gonna be like an orangey. As you can see, it looks, I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but if you have multiple colors already, it might not blend so well with the website. So generally what I like to do is kind of bring it back to only 1 or 2 colors, okay? So don't have like 10,000 colors going on here, going super rainbow, because it's gonna be hard for the user to know what's happening. Because this way you can kind of focus more on a specific color. So if I have like 3 colors here, you don't know what's important. But if I have everything greenish here, and maybe I'll just drag out 1 blue circle or something, this is gonna pop up extremely well. This is gonna jump in your eye. So if we just scroll out here and I just scroll back in here, what pops in your eye? Probably this blue circle. So that's why if you have multiple colors, it kind of takes away from that. So we can just get rid of this and we can just create 3 simple normal buttons. So I'll just drag out a rectangle here like so. Hope that made sense, by the way. And I'm gonna get rid of the fill and I'll just drop in a white border and we can resize this to 3 in here. Okay, something like that. And I'll just add a text to it. So this is gonna be called the orange power, like so. I'm gonna make this smaller to something like 20, let's do 20. Okay, 20 pixels. Drag this in the middle, like so. All right, and I can grab both of these and group them up actually. So grab 1, 2, and Control G. That's gonna create a group here and rename this to orange button. Okay, and now I can just hold down Alt and drag, and that's gonna duplicate this 2 more times. And here I'm just gonna change the text to red power, and I'm gonna have another one, green power. Sure, why not? Green power. Perfect. Center this as well. Just drag it until it snaps. And there we go. That's what we have. Up here, I kind of want to add a super simple logo. It's just going to be text for this one. Juice. And I'm going to add a dot. Juice dot. And grab this. Make it dark. So I'm going to go full black on this one. Drag it here until it snaps. And on this side, I'll just do a quick burger menu for us. So just hold down Shift. That's going to snap it like that. Let it go. I'm going to make this tree. And let me zoom in actually a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Just drag this out a bit more. Hold down Alt and I can duplicate this 2 more times. Something like that. Let go. And I'll just make this smaller a bit. And this one smaller because these are the new hamburgers people do and they're cool. Okay, I'm gonna lock this big leaf because I keep grabbing it for some reason. So here we can lock it. And I'll just grab all of these and hit Control G. So I'll group them up and rename this to hamburger. Okay, perfect. Looks okay. Now what I want to do is actually kind of size everything in here so it matches my grid. So I can click on the landing page here, click on the layout grid, and just kind of snap everything in its place. So we have some empty margins here. I'll just drag this in here like so. I'm gonna remake this so it fits like so on this side as well. There we go. So until it snaps on this grid. So just a bit like so. And this one, I'll position it right here on the last line at the beginning. There we go. And in here for the buttons, I'm gonna do the same thing. Just space them out a bit maybe, like so, and like so. Okay, we can actually move them one in here like so, so it stretches all the way to the center. There we go. And this one maybe, so it stretches 2 lines, and this one 2 lines. Yep, that looks good to me. This one will be in the middle, and let's take a look at the title. If I can click on it, there we go. The title. Let me log this background just a bit. And oh my God. All right, Adobe, you hate me today. All right, so something is locking it here, but you can kind of position. I kind of did almost perfect center here, but you can move it there a bit if you want. But that's the general idea of what we have there. And let's just move on so we don't waste too much time. I'll go back here and just get rid of this column because we don't need it anymore. Okay, so the second page, what I want to do is when we click on one of these buttons, it's actually going to take us to that drinks page. So let's just make another one. I'll just hit this up here and hit Control C. That's going to copy it, and Control V. It's going to duplicate it. And this one, I'll just open it up here again, and I'll just remove everything. And the reason why I did this is just to keep the size of the landing page. And I'm going to rename this to, let's do the first one, which is going to be Orange Power. So I'm going to rename this to Orange Power. Like so. Perfect. Close this up. And here, what I want to have is, let's bring in that orange. So let me go back in here. I'll grab the orange drink and plop it in here. Perfect. Now, as you can see here, if it's just plopped in like that, it's not gonna look that good. Just because it blends with the background, we don't have any contrast with the drink and the actual white here. So what we can do is we can mess around with shapes if we want. We can drag a circle on top, we can do a rectangle, whatever we prefer. For this one, let's just drag out a rectangle. So I'll just drag it out like so, and I'll bring this down below. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is get rid of the border, and for the fill, I'll actually do a gradient just to give a bit more, just to not make it that bland. And let's take a look. Up here, I kind of want it to be a brighter color, and down here a bit darker. And again, I'm not gonna do like bunch of colors in here because I want to bring out that yellow. So that's why I'm kind of working with like white and grayish colors. So for the first one up here, I'm gonna just do F1, F1, F1. All right, and for the second one, I'm gonna do, let's do DF, DF, DF. Okay, there we go. So just very, very light. All right, as you can see here, just a bit darker color, and here a bit more open. But I don't want to mess around and add a bunch of weird random colors. So I'll bring this down a bit like so. And this still kind of looks empty here. So that's why it's generally nice to add more things to your composition to make it look a bit more realistic or alive. So I also I cut out an orange here and some additional leaves. And again, I just went with just searching across the internet and cropping things out with Photoshop. So that was my whole idea. By the way, look, if you drag it in here and drop it, it's gonna take shape of that rectangle. So make sure you don't do that. Let's go back and grab it again, and I'm just gonna drop it here. All right, kind of move it wherever you please. I found this place to be pretty okay. And I also want to have the leaves here. And let's drop that in here as well. Right there. Let's drag this up. And I kind of want this to be behind because it wouldn't really make any sense for this to come out of the juice. So I'll just drag it below like that, kind of position it however you want, okay? Get experimental with this one. All right, I'm gonna make this a bit shorter. Just grab everything and bring it a bit to the right. So I have more space for text here, basically. And you know what? I should have copied the text from here, the logo. So I'll just drag that in there. And before we actually move on, I'll delete this one. I'm gonna rename this because we might have an issue. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna show you the issue and then we'll fix it. All right, so I'm gonna just drag this in here. Perfect, so I wanna keep the title. And let's see. All right, let's add some text in here. I'm gonna just grab the text tool. I'm gonna say orange power. All right, make this bigger. Let's do 64. All right, I'm gonna leave this at medium, that's fine. Accentuate this title. All right, I'm gonna bring this down in here. And I'm not gonna do black. I'm gonna get that greenish color from one of the leaves, so you can just color pick something like that. That's nice. All right, kind of keep the theme with this going. And down here, I'm just gonna add some random text. Now I have some text copied here that I added, but feel free to add whatever you want. I added this. Yeah, looks good. All right, actually, what I'm gonna do is actually drag out like so. So the text actually contains itself to the box. And I'm gonna grab everything in here and just drop it to like 24. Something like that. All right, and for this one, I'm not gonna have that greenish color. I'll just grab everything and I'll change it to this slight grayish color. And what that's gonna do is it's not gonna put that much emphasis on it rather than having it like super dark. So just grab a grayish color. And also I'm gonna change this from medium to just regular text. Okay, just bring it up here. That's fine. Maybe we can make this a bit smaller. It might be too big. 54. Maybe more. Let's do 50. Okay, that's good. Bring that in there. We have this. And I also have the recipe going on here. I'm gonna make that even smaller. So let's grab the text tool again. I'll just add this and make this like 20 again. All right. Contains strawberry, raspberry, and watermelon. This is just some random text. I'm gonna sample the same color from the text. Now you can be a masochist and do it this way, or optionally you can hit the plus here and that's gonna have it here forever for you. And that's something that is probably better to do. Let's change this to light, regular actually, that's fine. Just bring this up here again, and yeah, that looks good. Last thing I want to have is a go back button down here. So I'll just drag out a few lines like that. I'm going to change the size to 3. Okay, perfect. I'll make this a bit smaller. Hold down Shift, and I'll drag 2 more lines out. Make this 3 as well. All right, and make another one. Let's do another one on this size and just do 3 pixels. Perfect. And I'll just zoom in a bit and I'll drag these together. Actually, I'll grab everything because these are square ends, as you can see, and we can make them round just by grabbing everything and going here to round cap. Click that and take a look. We can just drag everything in like so. Make kind of like one shape. All right, we can Control G. That's gonna group everything. I'm gonna say back. Okay. Just hold down Shift, make it a bit smaller, something like that. Line it in here. And I'm also gonna add a text right here that's gonna say go back, just to make it obvious for everybody. Go back. All right, we can make this a bit smaller. Let's do 18. All right, and kind of size this here. And I'm gonna grab both of these and hit Control G and rename this to back button. Okay. Perfect. I'm actually going to drag this a bit more down, like so. Okay, there we go. That's what we have. That's one. Now don't worry, we don't have to make that for all the other ones. What we can do is we can just grab this and hit Control-C, Control-V, Control-C, Control-V, all right? And I'm just gonna drag these up. So this is the original one. I'm gonna drag this up like so, and this down like so. Perfect. And in here, this one I'm gonna rename to red power or green power. Okay, I'm gonna change this to green power. And here, all I have to do is just change these two images. So the green power is gonna have this kiwi juice. So let's bring that back in here. There we go. Drop it in here. And all I have to do is just size it up perfectly to that one. Okay, and I'm gonna get rid of the orange juice. So delete the orange juice, perfect. But I want this to be in front. So I'm gonna drag this layer down right below the orange here. And you know what? Actually, we're gonna get rid of the orange because I'm gonna bring back the kiwi. So let's delete this and bring back the kiwi. Drop it here, put it there, bam, bam, boom. Take a look, we have our green power. All right. Actually, we're gonna leave a bit more space. For this one, same thing. Grab the strawberry, bring it back here. Oh my goodness. Drop it, size it up. There we go. Perfect. We're gonna get rid of the orange juice, bring this down here, get rid of the orange, and we're gonna get the strawberry. Strawberry, where are you? All right, drop it. Bring this in. I'm gonna size this down a bit actually. And take a look, we have 3. Let's rename this to red power. Optionally, what you can also have, if you don't want this greenish, you can sample the red from this one in the title, and same for this one. So you're gonna have yellow text here and green text here. So just play around, do whatever you want. Hey, designing stuff is just about creativity and having a lot of fun. Okay, so how can we get from this page to all of these? Well, I'm gonna grab all of these 3 by holding down Shift, and I'm just gonna move them and give it more space. So the first thing I wanna have is whenever I click on this button, everything is gonna transition out. So everything is gonna go blank. Okay, so how can we do that? Well, I can click this, Control-C, Control-V. We're gonna duplicate again, and I'm gonna go up here to the Prototype tab. All right, so hit the Prototype tab. I'm gonna grab the orange, and what I'm gonna do is just drag this from here to here, okay? And what I wanna do is on tap, so when you click, I want this to animate, and the transition is gonna be auto animate. That's all we're gonna use. We're gonna just focus on auto animate just because it kind of provides everything we need. So by auto animate, what's gonna happen is it's gonna look at this frame, and whatever it changes, it's gonna animate it. So if I get rid of everything in here, it's gonna transition from this. So let's get rid of everything in here. Let me unlock these layers, just delete everything. Let's get rid of this hamburger too. So it's gonna transition from this state to this in 0.3 seconds. So let's take a look. Hit play, and you're gonna see a weird bug, but that's fine. Hit orange power and take a look. It auto animated out. And we didn't actually get that weird bug that I was talking about because I think I actually named these differently. So what you wanna be careful is that you don't wanna have the same, you wanna make sure that everything you have in this frame and here has the same name. All right, so if this one's juice and this one is juice, then everything is okay. So if I move this to the side here, hit play, and let me go back to the first frame by clicking here, it's gonna animate, as you can see. However, if this is named differently, it's not gonna work. So make sure the names are the same. And you don't have to worry about this if you're just copy pasting the same frame on this side. You don't even have to worry about this. So if you're just following the way I'm doing it, you should be fine. Okay, but again, the problem I had was that I had this text the same named as the logo, and it did a weird bug, and I couldn't figure it out. But then I reminded myself, oh, that they need the same name. Okay, so from this state, Now we faded everything out, and what I want to have is for the orange power to come in. So what I want to have is, before I get here, I want to have these items in another frame. So I'm just going to drag this out again a bit. I'm going to copy this and paste it again. I'm going to drag it here. Okay. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I cannot make these move from this blank state to this one without them actually being in the frame. So the way you want to animate these is make another copy and just move these out of frame. So I'm going to grab everything and just move them down. Okay, like so. And now it knows where to animate from. So it knows that, hey, okay, we have the products in here and I can go from this position to this position. However, if you would have not made this copy again, well, we don't have anything in here, so it would just fade in. That's the default thing that's gonna happen. It's just gonna make it fade in and it's not gonna look that cool. But since we made another one, we can just drag this one in here, and then this is gonna move from here to here. Okay. And another issue you might be facing is that you might want to drag this down all the way down here, but it's actually not in this frame. So it's outside of the frame. And I don't know, I'm not sure if it's a bug or not, but what you want to do is you want to make sure that this box, this blue box, actually hits the frame, because otherwise it's not going to work. So as you can see, it's in here. However, this one, the orange, is in my pasteboard. And I don't know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I feel like sometimes I can drag this out and it just works, which is very, very strange. But for now, I'll just drag this up here until it kind of drops in this frame. As you can see, now it's inside the orange. And I'll just move it down with my arrow keys until it's still in there. So as you can see, it's out the frame, but it's still in the frame. This one, let's move this down as well. Smooth move, and as you can see, it's just there, right there, move it back in. And now all I have to do is go from this frame. Now we hit once here, the button, so I don't want anything else to happen. I want this transition to happen without clicking anymore. One more time, without clicking again. So what I want to do here is I'm going to go back to prototype and drag this whole frame here. And what's going to happen is I'm not going to tap anymore. I'm going to add a time. And what happens is after a certain amount of delay, so 0.2 seconds in this case, it's going to automatically transition from this to this one. And the duration, I'm just going to do 4 seconds, 0.4 seconds. I apologize. Okay. And the same thing is going to happen from here to here. So you can just drag it once. It's going to remember these settings and everything should work just fine. So hit play. Let's take a look. Orange. As you can see, did you see that weird bug? Now it happened. And the reason why it's happening again is because, look, we have the logo as juice dot, and we also have this title as juice dot. So I'll just rename this one to logo and this one to logo as well. Up here, logo. And now I have to kind of do it to every single one because I duplicated everything. But as you can see, that's the bug that can happen to you if you have two of the same things. Okay, let's take a look again. Hit play. Take a look. There we go. How about that? Very nice. Now, again, you can kind of make these animate like differently, and you can kind of mess around with the position. So maybe you can move this one up a bit like so they come back in different times. As you can see, yeah, you can kind of move this up, or you can add opacity 0 to all of these if you want, and have that fade going on. So you can kind of do this. Let's try it like so. Hit play. Just mess around with this, man. This is just having fun here. There we go. But we had a weird bug there. I'm not sure if you saw that. Let's take a look again. Look, they jump in and then they flip. So to fix that, let's go back here, grab all of these three, bring back the opacity. As you can see, I need to bring this orange to the front and the leaf to the back. So I'll just move these around a bit until they fit nicely the orange to the front, and there we go. I'll bring back the opacity down to 0, and let's hit play again. And let's take a look. All right, there we go. That looks good. Perfect. And the last thing I want to do is just go to the back button and just add a going back. So prototype, and I'm going to drag this back all the way to the beginning. It's going to be tap. All right. And auto animate. That's fine. Duration 0.4. So let's take a look. Hit play. There we go. Hit back. And there we go. We faded all the way back to the beginning. Good. So what I want to do is I want to challenge you to do it to the rest of them. So there you go, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned something new. Hope you're drinking healthier from today on, because I'm not, clearly. And this bottle is stopping my blood circulation, so I should put this down. But until next time, drop a sub, hit the bell, leave a comment on what you want to see next. I want to go to the beach and have sex. Wow, got the rhymes a bit there going on. All right, catch you next time. Peace.